G'day Virgo! Thank you for joining me for your Psychic Zodiac Wheel forecast for September 2020. Glad to say that astrologically we've got some really nice changes happening that are pointing us in the right direction here in September. Still maybe slow and steady as it goes, but it's starting to move, and I can feel the shifts and changes, especially the Uranus energy. We've been getting electric shocks off things. You know, that little zap when you... Yeah, that's been happening ever since Uranus went retrograde. So, Virgo... focus in and tune in to the Virgo frequency and ask my angels and guides to join me in this reading for any messages there is for Virgo for September, for their highest good and for the good of all concerned. Ooh, very, very slippery, these cards, this beautiful Lotus deck. Ten of Swords. Virgo, the end of a difficult situation, overcoming sadness and loss and depression, or treacherous actions by others. So you may have felt a little bit that you've been wrongly done by, remembering that it's always darkest before the dawn. Even though you may feel like you've been stabbed in the back by someone that you trusted, and or there could be some health worries, some fatigue for some of you, this is letting you know that you're going to overcome that. So even though it looks like a bit of an ominous card, it is actually good news, because there's breakthrough there. There's a official ending. Nine of Swords is all the worrying that you've been doing. So you've been worrying over your worrying. And, you know, this is about not being able to sleep very well at night, disruptions, you can't see any way out of it, even though there is a way out, and you will do whatever it takes to get out also, but it will be a slow, steady process. In the meantime, you need to look after you. You need to have kind thoughts for yourself. Forgive yourself for whatever it is that you think that you've made a wrong decision, or, you know, how could you have not seen something more clearly? You know, being swords, it's about clarity as well, and the 10 and the 9 are about not being able to see that clearly. So, you know, forgive yourself for that. You know, it is what it is, and you will get through it. That's what it's showing me there. The Ace of Cups reverse is letting you know in the communication area that your heart says to stay, but your head wants to move on. You're feeling that in relationship, if you're in a relationship, might be a new relationship, you're feeling it lacks commitment. Okay? For those of you that are single, this is letting you know it's not really the time to get into anything too heavy with anybody, because the energies that are around are showing that it may not lack commitment. But so just keep it at a healthy stage for a little while, until things look like it's the time to move into something more permanent. more of a commitment. Three of Pentacles reversed. So you may feel in your home or family that you're not receiving the recognition or promotion that you wanted. And it's sort of like not the right time anyway. So and sadly, it is indicating that some relationships in your life, there may be a particular relationship, whether it's with a family member or your family or you know, a loved one, it's showing that it could take a turn for the worst. This is the area, your base, your foundation, your security, and this is a situation here where you really got a bit of disappointment. You're not really getting the cooperation you need. And your heart's just not into it. So you've got to sort of make some decisions, I feel. But don't rush the decisions. Everything sort of, it's 2 steps forwards and 1 step back. And it's pretty much the energy of the year. And don't be too hard on yourself. It's all happening for a very good reason. It's so you can make some decisions. So you can make sure you're happy with the outcome. So the slower the better, really. Okay? Now, it also might be to do with moving home, moving house, or buying a property, that kind of thing. But it also incorporates family. But here in your area of joy, where you get your blessings and fun, you've got the Lovers, the Gemini energy of the Lovers, Adam and Eve, making the right choice for the right reason. So that's important to you. Finding the right mate, choosing your partner wisely, reconciling to create harmony if there's been any disharmony or you know, breakups of any kind. It's a journey of sharing, of trust and love. It represents engagements and marriage. But there's a choice between vice and virtue in the area of fun, love affairs, matters of the heart, and in particular children. And you know, there's that Adam and Eve element to it as well. Page of Wands is about you receiving a message that you don't like, or sending an upsetting message to do with work colleagues, the workplace, your job, health, hygiene, that kind of thing. So keep up to date with your health checks, keep up to date with your hygiene, which is very important for all of us at the moment, keeping our hygiene in check, because there's a message there. Either you're sending the message or you're receiving the message, whichever way, it's not what you wanted to hear, or it's not what you wanted to say either. So there's something there that's making you say it, but it's actually not really coming from your true heart. You just sort of got to say it. In this environment or in this climate, it's what needs to be said. Okay, so then in your partnerships, you've got the Star of Hope reversed. So there's a clinging to the past, and it actually could even be there's someone from the past hanging around in a ghosty kind of way. So if you feel like you have seen someone who has passed over, or you know you've been visited by them, or you've gotten a message from them, you have. Okay, and it's to do with relationships, whether it's business or marriage or friendship or enemies. It's whatever you have a relationship with. So there's also a message there telling me here where you're refusing to or holding back from receiving the healing that you need. So you need to give yourself regular healing. Even if you do a chakra balancing meditation. If you're feeling down, you can use something like essential oil, frankincense for example, which helps lift your spirits and helps relieve anxiety. Those kinds of things. I've got it burning here now. I burn it regularly because, you know, it's sort of, it gets to you a bit what's going on, and having to, you know, isolate and self-distance and on it goes. And I'm living in a country that is very fortunate, and in a state in New South Wales where we can still get out and about without too much problem. Whereas Victoria, unfortunately, hello to my Victoria viewers, I hope you're all doing all right, and I hope you're enjoying your monthly reading with me. Sending you much love. The USA is in a similar position, and there's places all over the earth that are doing it really, really tough, and things are really, really hard. So and even though, as I said, I live in New South Wales and we're still able to get out and about and move around a bit, we've still got to follow protocol and policies and procedures and everything like that. But I still feel the energy of the burden of it all, and I've found this frankincense to be a very nice energy and fragrance that helps lift my mood. So yeah, try it and let me know in the comments how you feel it has helped you. Three of Cups around the right way. Yes, so you've got the Three of Cups. Celebration is in order, and there's invitations as well, so you're going to be invited somewhere. This is in the area of joint finances and other people's money, other people's support. So there are people that really do want to support you, and they're going to extend a invitation by the look of that. Queen of Swords. Well, you know what? She cuts through the crap, the Queen of Swords. And in reverse, she can be seen as a bit of a manipulator, and you may need that support that's shown there, that is there for you, just so that you've got somewhere to go to talk about your what's holding you back, and it could be to do with a relationship again. Because when this Queen of Swords being reversed is actually looking for a new relationship, it's a signal of looking for that. But it may be a new relationship to do with your work or business. You may be looking for a new business relationship or someone to go into business with. Okay? But whichever way, there is support, and you are going to be invited somewhere, and I feel with this Three of Cups there, it would be really good if you accepted that invitation. And in your career, you've got the Sun. So professionally, you're going to have success. You already are successful, actually. So you don't really have to do too much to be more successful than what you are. It's up to you to whether or not you're content with your position on the world stage, or out in the outer world rather, or whether or not you're wanting to even expand more. It's sort of like the world's at your feet. It's up to you to remove obstacles, not allow yourself to be stuck in the dark. Move yourself out of that. You can make some really good adjustments here through September that can transform in your life and be a really good omen. The Sun is a good omen to be showing in your cards. Okay? So that is a wonderful sign that the path of success is yours. But I feel that you're already feeling that, you know, you don't have to worry about your career, you don't have to worry about your professional side of things. It is unfolding quite well. Eight of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so you do need to start over, this is saying. And it's also letting you know that there's some sort of lack of commitment. It's to do with your friends or associates, or the social group that you're connected to. There's sort of lack of commitment. But it's socially, it's hard to have the commitment because of the isolation and the restrictions. So it's hard to sort of really keep up with everybody. So that may be playing a role there for you in that feeling of lack of commitment. And the Fool, which is also in reverse, and it is a Uranus card. And the Uranus is known as the Great Awakener. So with it in reverse though, and it's in your subconscious, it is one of not being ready to take that leap forward. Not ready to take that quantum leap. And that's fine. You have doubts and you're being very cautious. And there's nothing wrong with that. So, order and precision is your preferred mold of self-expression here with the first house energy. And that's what you sort of will come out of this ending wanting to create order and some precision in your life, because you've got a strong desire for perfection and you need balance and tolerance and flexibility. Typical Virgo. Very good. Now the moon is in Virgo on the 18th of September and it's the new moon. So the 18th of September is a good time for you to contemplate and put forward to the universe what your intentions are, where you want to see things unfolding for you. Tidy up loose ends, get organised, schedule your health checks, start that new gym routine, attend to details. Make your new moon wish of what you are wishing for. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And if you aim for the stars and you fall short, you'll land on the moon. the Sun here in the second half of September, and there's that strong need with the Sun in Libra for peace and harmony and beauty. You're really going to find a new appreciation for beauty, which could be vanity and could be your ego. So could be you discovering the arts as well, painting or beautifying your surroundings. And Mercury is going into Libra on the 2nd of September also. And Mercury is going into Libra on the 6th of September. So you may find that your values are about peace and are about being a peacemaker. Now that could be in a relationship, or it could just be within yourself. But you may find that you're rather good at putting other people at their ease, and you don't want to get into any arguments because you want harmonious communications and relations. But you will be looking into your resourcefulness and your talents, your values and your attitudes. Pardon me. And you do, Virgo, find it satisfying to balance your books. So you might find some solace in organising that. Now, you're also a very incisive communicator, and you have the ability to focus your attention well. So there could be communication or travel involved with siblings, and you may find that you're able to get out in your local environment a little bit more. Now, with this 4th house area, there is that energy of not receiving any recognition. And not having the cooperation that you need to do with home, family, past life, karma, and the past life in this life or another life will be trying to speak to you from a higher mind to expand your consciousness. So in this life, you know, you may be white, but in a past life you might have been black. Your ancestors may have had trauma in their life. They, you know, like a couple of 100 years ago, they may have been fighting brutal battles with swords and what have you. And the trauma from that gets passed through people's ancestral genes, really. It's also a good time to reflect on all of the ancestors that it took, so that you are the person that is here in this world dealing with the karma that is unfolding in our world today. And that karma is connected, as I think if you really take notice, it's connected to the era of World War II and the abolishment of slavery. Those two eras have reincarnated into the people that are alive on this planet now, and it's not just the young and it's not just the old, it's every different age, colour and creed. So that is part of past life karma that is unfolding for us now. And with that, we need to be coming from a place of understanding and compassion, with using maturity, not childless tantrums. Okay? And expand our consciousness. and communicate your ideas also. Now the 5th house is really where a lot of your energy is, Virgo. You've got the Jupiter, Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn in your 5th house. Now this is about lovers in the 5th house. It is all about giving and receiving love and generosity, and what you consider your precious gift and how you give that gift to the world, whether you're only giving it to your little own inner world or whether you're giving it on a grander scale to the world. It's an area where you can find some joy, and it involves your children if you have children, and pets if you have pets. Now Jupiter is a beneficial planet. It benefits our freedom, our adventures and opportunity. It's a jolly planet. It's the planet of luck is Jupiter. So that's influencing that area of your life as well. So you may find your joy in your children, or you may find your joy in the love in your life, the person that you're lovers with, and that may expand. But it also has that element of exaggeration connected with it, Jupiter. So it can over-exaggerate things as well. So just keep that in mind. Now Saturn is also there. Now Saturn is going direct on the 29th of September, so that's good news. Jupiter goes direct on the 13th of September, which is great news as well. We're starting to move in the right direction. We've all been very patient with Saturn holding us back and dragging our tails and making people disgruntled and jealous and and basically ineffective in trying able to achieve what they want to actually achieve. So this is 2 planets that in September are going to be moving in a more beneficial direction, and so yes, looking forward to that. So Jupiter is also about weight, so really look after your physical being. Okay, now and Pluto, you've got Pluto in there too. So Pluto retrograde is, his frequency is about reaping what you sow. So whatever seeds you're planting now, be careful, think, ponder it, do some deep soul searching, because what you plant now will grow and you will reap what you sow. So come from the right place when you're doing it, okay? Now the 6th house is influenced by this Page of Wands, work area, work colleagues, a message, Page of Wands reversed, message that not really what you wanted to hear. So emotionally and psychologically, you really need to be looking after your health and body issues. Alright? And recognizing your soul, and that you are a soul. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. Recognizing your soul, and that the body is your vehicle. to help bring that balance into your life. Now, the area of the 7th house has got the full moon there in Pisces on the 2nd of September. Full moon is the culmination. So you can see at that time on the 2nd of September, you can have a look and really see what has culminated at this point in your life. Okay? So take the time when the moon is full in Pisces to slow down and rest and pay attention to subtle areas. It's also a really good time to cleanse your crystals with some seawater out under the moonshine, and wonderful time to contemplate the universe and all that is and all that we are experiencing, and give thanks for having our basic survival kit. and in some areas of the world, like here in Australia, giving thanks for actually having a system that looks after its people. Yeah, absolutely. We're very, very fortunate that we've got the system we've got, and it works very well. Even though it's grinding along a bit slow at the moment, but we're getting there. So Neptune is also retrograde here in the area of partnerships for you. So your own personal needs are shifting and evolving, and you may find that you're analysing the deeper understanding of the relationship with others, and also maintaining appropriate boundaries in your relationship. It's okay to have boundaries in a relationship, whether it's an intimate relationship or a platonic relationship. You know, you got to have your boundaries so people know where not to step over the boundaries, really, and that builds respect and harmony ultimately. So this is in business relationships, personal relationships, or even enemies. Okay, now the Neptune energy does have with it that illusion. It's very hard to distinguish if you've got a strong Neptune transit happening. It's hard to distinguish between the fog and confusion, and it can sometimes be that you have to be dealing with lies too, and you may need to dissolve those connections with anyone that is doing that to you, whether it's in business or in your personal life. So someone who you thought was your friend could end up actually being your enemy. So, and you know what they say about your enemies: keep your enemies close, keep your friends close, and your enemies even closer. So then there is that need for compassion and forgiveness. It's also a mystic energy, that Neptune energy. So you could also find that information that you're receiving from someone that you think was an official, could be a business associate, the information doesn't ring true. And if it doesn't ring true, then there's a good chance it isn't true. Mars retrograde here in the 8th house. Mars is going retrograde in Aries on the 10th of September. Mars, the planet of the warrior, the masculine, your sex drive, your aggressive or decisive side of your positive, energetic side. That's Mars energy. It's going retrograde. Now, what I see this Mars retrograde unfolding as is about the usual things that Mars is about. Yes, war. It is the god of war, the planet of war. But this Mars retrograde, I feel, is about the civilized versus the primitive. Okay? Our basic, fundamental, primal instincts to survive. That's the primitive side of all of us. Okay? So it is about our survival. And putting that up against, do we want to be primitive or do we want to be civilized? So how do we want to proceed forward? Now, if these are out of balance or overreactive, then both of them are destructive. Now, that means you can implode that energy in on yourself. And I think we can see that unfolding with some on a bigger scale, on a not so personal scale, but it is affecting everybody personally, and none so much more than the people that are actually dealing with it and living it. And they are people that are sadly embroiled in what's going on in places like Lebanon, like Beirut, for example, and the other place would be the United States, where you can see the people are imploding the country is imploding in on itself. So that is the Mars retrograde energy as I see it. That doesn't mean, if provoked, though, that it can't actually explode out, but it's sort of going in on itself. Now, it's also about how you relate to men in your life, and there's also the absence of the father with the Mars retrograde. So you may not be able to, get to your father the way you would like. Now, Uranus retrograde is here in the 9th house, and that is about exploring the unknown and making it known. And if there's no vehicle for that inner drive to experience something different, it can be expressed or can be seen to be expressed as irritability and erratic moods and unreliable behaviour and feelings of dissatisfaction and anxiety. And that's playing out in the world as well. We can see that all unfolding. Like the Uranus energy is a nervous breakdown, and the world has been going through a nervous breakdown. So the retrograde energy, it's about that, as well as being about exploring the unknown, and that desire, which is almost overwhelming, to discover new things, because the Uranus itself is a planet of freedom and liberation and rebelling against the status quo. It rules technology. It brings change and sudden events, surprises and shock. Science fiction, space exploration, how we transmit using the waves that we can't see. It's also, our own antennas picking up on those transmissions of other people's thoughts. Mental telepathy can be very strong with Uranus energy. Now, at its worst, it can encourage rebellion, and also anyone who chooses not to fit in. So it is one of those energies, the Uranus energy, that you've got to duck and weave, okay, and adapt and be flexible, all the while giving compassion and understanding that other people know what you're going through because they're experiencing a very similar thing, okay. They might not be in the same part of the world as you, but the mental side of things is very similar. And even if they're not experiencing it, really connect to your difficulties in a profound way. Now, 10th house is the zenith of the wheel. It's your career. Okay? It's your professional life, and you've got the sun there. So your quest with this area of the midheaven and how you deal with the outer world is to keep your dignity in the eyes of the world. And you need to repay your past life karma with understanding and compassion. Okay? And maturity. And I feel that you are doing that very successfully because you've got the sun up there saying yes and showing that there is success there for you. Your hopes and wishes, your manifestation here in one of the future areas of what's taking you forward is your ability to give and receive love. And what you perceive as your precious gift and how you are willing to give that gift to the world. So it's generosity, giving and receiving love. You do enjoy being able to connect with your close and caring friends, and you do like to take care of your friends too. So get in contact with your friendships. Maybe there's been some delay or hold up around that, you know, but you can ring them, you can FaceTime them, you can Skype them. There's so many ways of getting in contact, so make sure you do that. Okay? Because this is also letting you know that you may have had to start over. You may be experiencing that someone is lacking commitment and you could be struggling with it. So you need your friends to talk to have a laugh with. That Jupiter energy wants you to have a good old laugh and look on the bright side. And you know, and it may be you're laughing at one of your friends' expense, but if it's going to make you laugh and lift your spirits, then I'm sure your friend can, you know, see the funny side of that. Now the 12th house is Venus. This month is going to be moving into Leo on the 6th of September. So that's about focusing on your heart chakra as well and enhancing your heart chakra. So you may be overflowing with love to give to others, and you may be doing it telepathically if you're not able to actually hold them and do it physically. But you will enjoy the fun and creative side of your friendships and your relationships. Now, there is a situation where you might find it difficult to really find your own identity. So there's something moving and shifting and changing which is sort of affecting you in a way where it's like, well, who am I anyway, you know? Well, you are you. you're growing constantly and you're learning constantly, and you know, our greatest teachers are our partners that we choose in life. So there's lots of learning, and they are a mirror of us too, our partners, and that's an interesting one to ponder. Because, you know, you don't always see the best side of your partner, do you? When you sort of look at it and think, I can't be anything like that. So you can actually, you know, maybe get a bit of a giggle out of looking at things that way too. So, the 12th house energy is about the Leo energy. So you could enjoy acting out, trying on new identities, you know, in private, because it's the 12th house. It's things that are kept behind the curtains and things that are hidden, but just be careful, because it's also the area where you can self-sabotage, and you don't want to be sabotaging yourself. Yeah, so just keep an eye on that. Like, are you shooting yourself in the foot? Yeah, so there is a lot of significant things for you to really ponder here through September, by the looks of this, Virgo. So if you've got any questions, leave them for me in the comments, and maybe you might have some questions about your past life, or you might be able to tell me about one of your past life experiences. So I'll just ask for what guardian angel is around you at the moment through September. Go. He's sticking out, so we'll take him, thank you. And you have the Angel of Comfort. So at least you're going to be living in comfort, or you're going to be more comfortable. Number 6 is the number connected to the Angel of Comfort. And the message there for you, Virgo, is: I accept the comfort and support that my angels share with me from above. And your affirmation that you can use is: I am in safe hands. My angel of comfort is healing me in my time of need. So that's a very nice affirmation there for you to use. Okay, so now the confirmation card, and this month I'm using the Akashic Tarot deck to get the message for you from the Akashic records. Something a little bit different for us. So what is... Oh, thank you. And you have the Four of Scrolls. Four of Scrolls, the karmic trench. So, this card is revealing a difficult pattern in your life. A pattern of self-defeating feelings, thoughts and actions that you've brought forward from previous incarnations. So maybe you may be able to look into World War II, seeing this as trenches. I feel that there's a connection there with World War II. Now, or that era, not, you know, the 30s and 40s, 1930 and 40, which is my grandparents' era really, and my parents' era. So, so the karmic trench, yeah. You return to this life in this. You return to this life with the intention of breaking this karmic pattern, but you got pulled into the old thoughts and behaviours. You've been digging yourself deeper into a karmic trench that gets harder and harder to escape. Oh dear. So this pattern is not unknown to you. You recognise it in your relationships, in your jobs, and certainly in your beliefs, behaviours and responses. It's time to take charge of your karma by altering the inner idea, your feelings and the pattern that you cause to make sabotaging choices. Don't sabotage. Don't self-sabotage. Every time you notice yourself making an old choice that digs you deeper into your karmic trench, you can change your mind and your actions. This will require your conscious effort every step of the way. Without such work, you could go lifetimes burying yourself in the same feelings. But with your commitment to make change every day, you can dig yourself out. So you can get yourself out of this. Okay? So, how to dig yourself out? Well, it's saying for you to use the Akashic force. So you take a moment to remember an old negative pattern that you know all too well. One that has kept you stuck. Choose your eyes and breathe in the presence and power of your higher self. You become stronger. You are filled with the will to step out of the mud. And you do now and every time you fall into this pattern. So visualize yourself stepping out of the trench and out of the mud. Okay? You're going to be able to do this. You have the affirmations and guidance of the Angel of Comfort. So thank you, Virgo, so much for joining me. Actually, just before I go, I will actually ask divine direction for here with this worry and end of a difficult situation. What is the divine direction for Virgo? Your friends, your friendship group. Spend more time with your friends. Share your thoughts with someone who understands you. So there's someone that you need to get in contact with that you haven't been in contact with, I feel, and you need to spend time with them, whether it's on the phone or in person. You need your friends, and you need to be communicating more with your friends. Okay, so thank you so much, Virgo, for joining me. Sending you much love and many blessings. It is going to be all right. The sun is going to rise tomorrow, and it is letting you know that you will get through this stage. September is the mover and the shaker. It's got some very good energies in it that are going to help us on a personal level. Many blessings to you. Namaste.